Richard, you recently returned from the World Economic Forum. Tell us a little bit about this year's mission and what global leaders may have taken away from this year's agenda.
Well, the founder of the WEF, Klaus Schwab, talked about transformation. And there's no question that the topic on everybody's mind this year was the future of Europe. And Mrs. Merkel, actually, from Germany, had a wonderful theory of an integrated Europe as a great competitive force, 500 million people in a common market, labor market mobility, and the ability to actually change how the labor markets work, less guilds, et cetera. But, you know, if you think about it, that goes against hundreds of years of national interest. And that means that they all have to, in a sense, have their budgets like the Germans. And that's a really countercultural kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So those countervailing currents were really very present at Davos this year. I would say, if I had to predict, most of the business leaders were saying the business will be okay this year, unless Europe falls off a cliff, in which case we're all in trouble.
Absolutely, and you mentioned obviously the Eurozone crisis did dominate the headlines. Are they starting to feel, are business and government leaders starting to feel that there will be more job creation that's coming out of all of these structural and economic reforms?
I think that there's much more confidence about what the European Central Bank did with Mr. Draghi and recapitalizing the banks at 1% loans for 3 years, and the idea that if you stabilize the financial business, then ultimately you'll get a better situation in the corporate sector. But I don't see anybody feeling that good about the conditions for Europe in the next 12 months.